Hear me
Hello.
now. Hello.
What were you going to sing? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your voice.
No, Hear Me Now, the Ukrainian song from Junior Eurovision this year, you guys. Hi, by the
Oh, yeah.
way. Short Take ESC is back, and I am joined by...
Hi, it's me, the Love Stuff, welcoming you back here to our weekly stream for the Eurovision fam. Weekly
Number
stream.
2. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 1 second here. I actually have YouTube open in the other tab, and so I just heard my voice, and it threw me off. Anyways, we've got to talk about Junior. We've got to talk about the songs from Montesong. And then, we knew the Benidorm artists were coming this week because it got pushed back.
Yep.
And then we have the Eurosong stuff from
Artists.
Belgium. Yes.
Yep, we sure do.
And I have thoughts. But yeah, let's go ahead.
I have thoughts too.
Let's go ahead and kick things off with JESC last night. Or yesterday afternoon for us. Yeah.
So, you guys, Georgia won the Junior Eurovision Song Contest 2024. The artist Andira Putkaradze with the song To My Mom.
Yep.
This kind of came as a surprise to a lot of people because, I don't know, something about the song is just so subtle and understated, but it's just, I know the word demure has been thrown around a lot in the last year. It kind of falls into that. It falls into that tribe a little bit. But let's talk a little bit more about the contest. What thoughts do you have?
Well, I wanted to just because we talked about Georgia for a second. Yeah, they won. It's their 4th win, and so now they're tied with France again for the most wins. Hello, kitty, kitty.
This is Rue, everyone. She's 13 weeks old. Go play.
She's very cute.
Yeah.
Sorry. 1 second. I apologize. Allergies are awful and I hate them. So yeah, we have Georgia getting their 4th win, and they're now tied with France for the most wins ever. And they've been a powerhouse for years at Junior. They really have been. I mean, France has been the new addition to the contest, and they just have managed to bring French pop that blows people out of the water consistently back to back. But yeah, I think it's good that we have Georgia back on, on that winner's podium.
There. It's interesting though, because when you look at statistics of the best performing Junior Eurovision countries, France is at the top just based off of the fact that they've competed for the last 8-ish years?
Yeah.
No, 6-ish years, I would say.
Yeah, I think
even statistically, they've been doing considerably better than those countries just by those number of years. I feel like as the years carry on, we're going to see the evening out of the overall performance of everybody else. Georgia has always remained toward the top of that, though. Georgia and Armenia, especially.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's again, the vocals were perfect from that kid. It's absolutely fantastic vocally.
Yeah. And it was a deserved win. But then again, any of the kids could have deserved to win. If you watch it, then you kind of get rid of this lens of competition when you're watching Junior Eurovision. You kind of just focus on how they're having fun and giving it their all. And yeah, at the end of the day, the win doesn't really matter because the host nation for next year not even necessarily is going to align with the country that wins. That's just kind of something we expect now. But it was great. It was a really great contest.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking also, our jury winner. Oh, not jury winner was Georgia. Our televote winner was Portugal.
Yeah.
Yes. Oof. Yeah, no, that was fantastic. It's Portugal's best result ever at Junior. Second best result ever at any Eurovision. And yeah, no, I think that was well deserved because again, vocals were perfect. My only critique of the performance from the girl from Portugal wasn't even her. It was the fact they had her in black boots. The boots did not go with anything else. I found the boots to be jarring.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that until now.
If you have to wear a boot. But yeah, it was just maybe that little, maybe
because the staging was already
a different shoe. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, this is why we need your eyes on shows like this, because you catch these tiny details.
Okay. So Brooke has some insight about the jury show. Victoria missed her big notes in the jury show. That would explain why her jury points weren't as big. I mean, I know at the jury show, if we want to start
Mhm.
talking like critiquing the EBU, because that's the only person I have to talk about, or the only part of the show I have to critique.
Mhm.
So apparently Martin was booed at the jury show again.
Yeah, I saw that
Oh,
too. Apparently, he was booed, and during the live show, we all witnessed this. He did not show up. He did not
yeah,
say, "You're good to go." Ruth Lorenzo did. Ruth, the OG Lorenzo, did that.
yeah,
Jesus. Uh,
that was also funny. I
but
was
but
like,
yeah, Martin wasn't there.
okay. Other things I want to critique. I do
Mhm.
not like the use of AI for these postcards.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
like, why are we using children to train AI? It makes me very uncomfortable. I was like,
It's like
mm,
I want to know what the clause was, maybe in like the sign-on contract to say I'm participating in Junior Eurovision, saying I will consent to train AI to use my child as a basis to learn how to be a better machine. Like that is
yeah.
just messed up. Like why do I feel like that clause was hidden somewhere and that these kids didn't necessarily know that this would all really be happening because it's very easy to train AI just based off of images and short clips.
Yeah, I mean, I
What?
would guess it's their parents who have to
Mhm.
sign off on this stuff. And like, I don't like the AI. It was very,
It was not only uncomfortable, but it felt like it was being shoved into the show, like with the
mhm.
Polish staging, for example. Um, yeah, what is it? All together, we can change the world. The last, I want to say, 20 seconds of the song were just an AI clip. It didn't really feel like it matched what the song was trying to deliver. It didn't feel like it was trying to match Dominic's energy at all. I just feel
Mhm.
like it was included in there to show the capabilities of the machine,
It
and
just
that is
feels
gross,
like
frankly.
any use of AI always just feels lazy. And it's
Mhm.
like I don't know why I would expect better from the EBU. Maybe it's because they made a very clear stance they don't want any AI in any kind of songwriting.
Yeah.
When it came to adult Eurovision last year, they made that rule
Mhm.
very clear.
Mhm.
Um, but like using AI imagery, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see it. It's just
It's insulting because they
yeah,
used to pay designers. They used to pay people who knew graphics. They used to pay artistic concept folks. But at the end of the day, what they're saving money on is just a cheaper product that has no passion behind it at
yeah.
all.
I don't like any kind of like the only thing I'll say I don't mind AI for that's like generative is in a use like in Photoshop sometimes you'll use AI. Like I 100% of it I've used it before for something like
Mhm.
a menial task that would normally take me hours to do.
Mhm.
Like if you go to clean up like a photo, like you're fixing digital art or not like a photo, like you're fixing a photograph and like trying to get rid of wrinkles.
Mhm.
I can do it by hand, but it takes like hours to do it. Meanwhile, I can just use the generative fill kind of feature on Adobe Photoshop, or not
Yeah.
even that really. It's like there's a like you have a healing tool you can use, and so it makes it easier to go in and change it faster. But
Mhm.
like anything other than that, I'm just like if it's a menial task that doesn't affect the overall product as much, I like the overall creative direction. I don't mind it, but like also a lot of AI images to me just are really uncanny,
Mhm.
and it just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I agree. The sad part is it's only uncanny because we have cultural references that had just kind of that tangible, realistic quality to them. As later generations follow, this uncanny valley that we experience is going to like become less and less just based off of the fact that people are going to be more used to seeing AI in lieu of just normal art, in lieu of normal images. There's not going to be our ability to distinguish it nearly as much, and that
Well,
is
the
stressing me
pos-
out.
the positive thing is it does look like the AI bubble is starting to burst.
Okay, in what sense? Because I this is the first time hearing about it.
So like it's like a lot of people who watch like economic bubbles and things like that are
Mhm.
saying that when it comes to AI, it's showing the signs that we've kind of hit the peak at this point.
Interesting.
And so a
Okay.
lot of investors are actually pulling their money out of these AI companies that happen in Silicon Valley. Because like what company, what basically this is when it comes to anything that's new on the internet that starts to catch on, is it's people who have money to invest and they missed out on the dot-com boost. So they get excited about anything that might be a new thing that might, make the money. And so we're starting to see people kind of pulling away from that. It's like the fact that like just certain websites and certain things in tech are only boosted because they have that input
cultural relevancy.
Yeah, so I think what we're seeing is going to happen more with AI, like, and this is just generative AI. So AI and like photos and music and things like that. That's what's kind of being held back. You're going to probably still see AI applications. I think that could be useful in medicine. And like just recognizing patterns and things like that. That's useful. I don't really have an issue with that either, because you can always have a doctor go back and double check it. Or also, unfortunately, military uses as well. We'll probably continue to see, machine learning there. But yeah, I just don't want to see AI. I purposely avoid using it. I don't even use Google anymore because of AI.
I honestly don't either. I don't either. Yeah.
And it's like, I hate to sound like a crazy old lady who's afraid of new things, but that's like kind of like for me, I'm just like, I don't want it. I think it limits your ability to do good research and whatnot when you're using Google as well.
And furthermore, like I want to just wrap up this AI conversation, because that's not what Junior Eurovision is about. It's about the kids and it's about the performances. But just my final thought on AI, and you said you don't want to sound like a bitter old woman. I'm going to sound like a bitter old man right now. I will not forget the people who kind of put AI in front of the artistic value of someone creating actual art, because there were a lot of people who said this is going to replace modern art as it is. That's not going to happen. It's clearly not going to happen, and I'm going to remember who you are. Anyways, we can move along. Along, because Junior, I'm sad that Junior is gone. Congratulations, Andrea. It was great. Like, I'm really, really happy that, first of all, a ballad won. Georgia is taking their title back, and it was just an amazing song.
Well, I mean, there's other stuff I need to say about. We have a comment from a guest. So, exactly, Jordan, pay a good, cute check to a graphic designer and animator, and make these. It won't be happening again. Yeah, it's just
like you used to do, EBU. But I digress.
And then from Elodie, hello Elodie. Poland was so good. By the AI, aging was so wrong. It didn't work at all. It threw me off a bit. Yeah,
could have kept the birds in the wind. That was nice.
Like the rapidly aging child in the background, it made me think of a friend of mine who pops up in here sometimes, saying years ago they didn't like Russia's performance from 2009.
Mamo, okay.
Yeah, because like the way that they have her aging in the back as a backdrop freaked them out. And I'm like, yep, I see it. Like that's the first thing I thought of when I saw
it.
I thought of my friend saying like,
level of uncanny.
It scared her. Yeah,
that's exactly what that is. It is the same staging concept.
Yeah.
We need Mika Newton on the case.
Okay, so sorry. Also, I don't know. I want to ask you about that voting sequence. How do you feel about that voting change?
Messy. That was messy. I get it. Experimenting is good. Every so often you need to experiment because change of the times or whatever, but this was a mess. Like, this was not good. How is the first time you use this graphic, illegible graphic, the winner of the jury breaks it? Like, calculate better.
I would have changed the graphic around a bit to make it like easier to follow, because it was kind of difficult to see like what was happening. I don't know if it's just because it was horizontal rather than like it was vertical or whatever, rather than horizontal like I'm used to. And then, but like I would have been able to I would see moving the countries over. I like showing the flags of who voted for what when you're kind of doing that.
That was nice. Yeah.
However, I feel like when it comes to an adult Eurovision, there's too many entries to do it with. Like Junior's fine. Like 17 is about probably the max you can get away with that graphic. Anything other than that to just be too small.
You would need like a scroller, but even then, no one would be able to really keep track of who's doing what. And the thing is, we as Eurovision fans are very savvy at being able to read how points are going to, like, where they're going to end up. It's like we're very used to that graphic. We know how essentially it's going to unfold. With a graphic that's like this, not only is it flipped 90 degrees, making it nearly completely illegible if you can't read those characters easily, but it's just the way that it happens, it takes away the suspense of it as well.
Yeah.
And I really value that level of suspense because that's kind of just a major component to the show for me.
Yeah, it went by too quickly because it's like, okay, here are the ones, here are the twos, here are the threes, or whatever, so on and so forth. It kind of made it hard because it's like, well, this is all happening so quick, you know, and it does kill the suspense. It really does. And then like I do not like it. And then the fact that the graphic broke when we got to the final tallying of everything.
It's like, how did you not even create a tall enough tube to make it so that like if someone gets more than 10, 12 points, that it covers their points? I mean, I'm not against experimenting, but just test it out and make sure that it fully works for all variables before you launch it. This felt rushed.
Here's the thing, what you can do as well is you can program it so that way if you are hitting a point where the winner is getting that high up, it readjusts the values of everything so you don't break the graphic.
Yeah, like the acceleration of the little bar, like
exactly
that could have been modified so that like even if you get all the 12 points, you don't cover up the numerical value above the bar.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
Just a couple of comments. Another one from LLD. The voting sequence was bad. Yes, it was fast, good, but my God, I couldn't even follow it at all in the end. I didn't even know Portugal or Georgia won. My brain froze. LOL, too quick. Yeah, I had trouble following like where everybody was. I 100% get that. And it was like a sunny afternoon for me. Like I'm like, this is hard to follow. Yeah. And then from Georgios, if they do it at adult Eurovision, I will lose my mind.
I really don't think there's no way. Ew, it just occurred to me how they might do this.
What will happen? So here's the thing, if you haven't noticed yet. When something happens at junior, it's coming for adult Eurovision eventually. It might take a couple of years to get there, but it is eventually coming. Online voting.
Yeah, it's the plan. Online voting.
The rest of the world vote.
ROTW.
Yeah. Both of those happened at junior a couple of years before they happened at adult Eurovision. They kind of used junior to iron out the kinks for ideas they have. Yeah.
They soft launched their decisions, whether or not like they were trying to retain any feedback from it from anyone who values the program.
Yeah, and then we have Dallas to make a good point here, which is I also think they were unprepared because people don't normally landslide JESC like
that. That is true. Yeah.
That is very true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also needs to be accounted for as well.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead. I don't really have much more to say about junior. Overall, kids were fantastic. Great show from them.
Once again, perfect show from the kids. Everybody else needs to keep up.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not going to talk about that horrible blazer I saw last night that made me very upset.
I think I know exactly the one you're talking about.
I hate it.
And I was wondering if you were going to comment on it.
I wanted to burn it. Like, I was like, no, absolutely not.
To be fair, I don't think it's coming back into the Eurovision camera sphere ever again. I have a feeling that they realized how terrible it was.
Yeah, but we'll see.
We'll see.
And I think the real loser is probably Barbara. She's gonna still be she's gonna go back in that basement at France 1, and they're gonna force her to write some more stuff. So
yeah, it'll be another windowless winter for her.
Sorry. All right,
we say this every year. We say this every year.
We say it every year. Let's talk about Benidorm Fest artists real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you have the list in front of you?
I do, and I can read them off.
Okay, you read
as
it.
well.
You know I can't do Spanish.
Hey, and just
a mess.
Fun fact: if anyone's a new viewer to our streams, I usually take care of the Spanish pronunciations. She usually takes care of like the German pronunciations. That's just kind of how we divide it. So the artists for Benidorm Fest this year, we have Carla Frigo with the song Bésame. We have Celine Van Hale. I butchered that, with La Casa. We have Chica Sobresalto with Mala Feminista. We have Daniela Blasco with the song Una Na. We have David Alfonso with Amor Barato. We have De Teresa with the song La Pena. We have Henry Semler with the song No Lo Es. We have Jay Cabello with VIP. We have Kingdom singing Me Gustas Tú. We have Cuve singing Loca por ti. We have La Chispa with the song Artita de Llorar. We have Lucas Boone with the song Te escribo en el cielo. We also have Mawok with the song Raggio di Sole, which is an Italian title. We have Melomana with the song I'm a Queen. Melody with the song Esa Diva. And Sonia and Selena with the song Reinas. So this is a big list once again for Benidorm. Do you have thoughts?
I don't know how I feel yet. I haven't had a chance to really deep dive everybody's kind of like back catalog. I only had a chance to hit on a couple of them. So that's kind of like where I'm at. I don't really have much to say. But Augusto is from the team, and we have to, take him up. So Augusto, if you don't know, Augusto Dominguez is on our social media team for the Eurovision fam site. He's kind of like our Spain correspondent. I would say more than like
no, definitely our Spain correspondent and Latin American feedback correspondent as well. Just Spanish sphere, not just Spain.
So I'm so hyped for Chica.
Sobresalto.
Thank you. She's filling the OT quota, so for Benidorm Fest. So I'm guessing she was on OT. Okay. Which season of OT? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Also hyped for Jay Caballo, Melody, and Kingdom, who've all tried out every year's past. Okay. I like it when somebody who like doesn't give up shows up.
And also, there isn't a single returnee this year.
Yeah, there's no returnees.
There's no returnees. What?
So we'll see. I mean, it's only the third year of Benidorm Fest?
Benidorm isn't Melfest, too.
Oh no, it's 4 years. So
they're not Melfest. They do just immediately invite the veterans back just based off of merit of the audience knowing about them. Benidorm exposes audiences to new artists. They've done that pretty frequently since their inception.
Sorry.
I'm just saying that Benidorm, they always bring someone out that's new.
Yeah. Okay. And then Augusta just says she finished 7th in OT 2020.
All right. So this is a revenge arc then.
Good for her.
Good for her. One bit of an oh, I'm sorry. Is there a comment?
No, that was it. I just had that one.
Okay. I was just going to say that one thing about this Benidorm that I find kind of interesting is that last year, I feel like Spain walked away with like Zora having already competed in Eurovision. They got their result. Nebulosa got their result. And they said, you know what, Benidorm next year, you gays want pop girlies? We'll give you pop girlies. Like, we'll give them to you. That's what you want? Okay. And if you take a look at this lineup, you don't even need to like do a super deep dive into just kind of this list of artists. Just listen to a single or two and you'd be like, okay, this is like dancey pop. This is loungy pop. A lot. It's very pop forward, very feminine forward. It's like they took the thing that a lot of folks like most about Benidorm and just sharpened it for this year. So I'm really curious to see how it would turn out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's see. I'm just looking at comments here. Okay, let me see here. Okay, again from Augusto, RTV has been doing a good job thus far, but they need to crack the code to win Eurovision and not make Chanel a pure, simple coincidence. Are we saying the code as well? Because, throwing a little throwback or giving a little hint of where we're going next year. And then Benidorm has cracked at least one major hit every edition so far. So, I mean, if it's working locally, like it's working in the country, we're cool. Kind of want that because I think that's going to give people more you know what, maybe I should enter this contest vibe.
It's more of a San Remo than an MGP in the sense where it's just like we're trying to appeal to the domestic market before we show you anything, kind of a thing. Yeah.
And then Mark just says, I think a major issue is that a good chunk of the songs every year fall flat live. I hope they voted these artists live this time. Like, so making sure they're giving us a live performance as well.
They were given a lot of learning material.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Like, there's a lot to work off of.
Yeah, we'll see how I feel. Because it's like, I know I really like the songs the first year of Benidorm Fest, but the last 2 years have been kind of meh on. So once we get the songs, I'll have more thoughts. But yeah. We got the artist for Belgium as well, but
we
like
did.
again, I don't have anything to say about them because I didn't have time this week to dive into even a little bit of the top. So I think we'll just skip. Well, I mean,
I'll read off the names of the artists, and then I have let's just see. So the artist competing in a Eurosong this year, which by the way is the least predictable national final you will ever see, is
you know what? Yeah, while you read these, I have to look up something. Go ahead.
Okay. We have Grace, Jelle van Dale, Lumanu, Liz, Len, Mentisa, Red Sebastian, and Stephanie Calabo. Those are the artists. You were saying?
Yeah, I are we getting rid of that format where where they had like 10 songs or whatever, like each person did 2 songs, and then
I hated that. That was confusing.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if they got rid of that.
Songwriting campish in a derogatory way. I have not read anything about the strategy.
I'm looking into that right now.
Like how they're going to be delving that out, because I don't know how you guys felt about the whole each artist 2 songs kind of a thing. I thought it was messy. I did not like it.
Yep, they're doing it again. It looks like, or maybe it says in January ahead of the Eurosong broadcast, VRT will air 2 shows during which Belgian TV viewers can get to know the artist and watch a presentation of their songs. So I don't know if they're going to do 2 songs in that, or if it's just going to be like, hey, these are the people we have competing.
That's vague. That's pretty vague.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. That was just, I did not like that whole thing. And like, we have to remember.
I'm sorry, it just looked so cheap when they were doing the first time they were forming the songs in front of just each other. It
was kind of cute though at the same time.
It was cute, but it did not look good, in my opinion. I'm sorry, I interrupted. You were saying?
I was gonna say, yeah, this here is a follow-up to Gustav as well. We have to remember that. Like, because with Belgium, because they do that flip-flop, we're not looking at what Belgium sent last year, we're looking at what Belgium sent the year before last. Yeah, so we've got comments about people competing. Mark says Red Sebastian has some good songs, to be fair. Looking forward to their song. Okay. And then Mentisa might win many votes from France. My mom loves this woman and her music, and she's really appreciated by people here. I don't know if that's much of the same thing in Belgian public. Okay. So I don't know.
Mentisa's the only one I really kind of know a little bit.
So VRT is their Flemish broadcaster. So is it? How do I phrase this without sounding like a weirdo? So are they able to pool? Do they pool who they might send from both Flanders and Wallonia? Or is it one or the other? You know what I mean?
I also have no idea. I have no clue.
Because some of these names definitely sound French to me.
Yeah.
But just because you have a French name doesn't mean you live in Wallonia. You might live in Flanders. And then if she's Mentisa is someone who's well known in France, is she Wallonian? How many people in Belgium are bilingual? Now I'm getting into the.
When you think about Belgium too much, when you think about Belgium too much, you get stressed. That's why you try not to think about it.
I just think try not to think about Belgium. I mean, you've heard the meme that Belgium isn't real, right? There's
not only have I heard it, but I was a little convinced by it.
There's 2 countries in Europe that meme goes for: Belgium and Finland. I've always those are the ones. But meanwhile, I don't think I've ever encountered someone from Liechtenstein before. I know it's there, but I don't think I've ever encountered anyone who's been there.
Well, it's fine. I mean, that's what, 5 people?
6? I don't know. Yeah, I'm just. But the meme, there's a meme about Belgium. But yeah, no, Belgium. I'm curious. I'm curious about it.
I mean, last time, let's remember, they had Eurosong. They produced a 7th, 8th place result. And that was.
And I will say this, that honestly, I'm shocked. It was just like, but there's just something about Gustav. He's very charming.
It was one of my friends here in SF. Robbie, if you're watching this, love you. But he told me that he thinks the Belgium entry in 2023 would do well because it appeals to the house consuming crowd of Eurovision, which
Yes.
which is very widespread. I didn't believe him at first, but that was correct. And he
And
did
also,
end up getting that result.
just like completely by coincidence, we have the fact that there was a kind of a house revival
Hmm.
that was going on in 2023 where it was like in the popular mainstay.
Hmm.
Like by artists not, at all related to Eurovision. So I think that it was just a coincidence like that Belgium so happened to choose a house song in a
Hmm.
year where house music was just like a part of the zeitgeist.
Yeah,
So
it lined up perfectly.
it had the bonus of sounding like what you might hear on the radio currently,
Hmm.
whereas Eurovision songs tend to be like a year or two behind of what's like mainstream.
Yeah, it was happenstance, but it created kind of the perfect silver lining for Gustav to capitalize on the fact that we are all back in the house mode, and that has to be kind of amplified a little bit by, as you were saying, just where music was going, like Renaissance, for example, by Beyonce. That was a
Mm-hmm.
massive boost back to house, and that
Yeah,
was kind of what brought me back into listening to it, and that's what kind of made me access Gustav's entry. It just lined up perfectly.
yeah. Yeah, and then just real quick, Mark says the hate Gustav got was insane. The song was never that bad. It was always going to do well.
I apologize because I was a hater of the song. I apologize. I eventually loved it. Like y'all turned me.
Yeah,
I love it now. Like I don't skip it anymore, but I did in that period of time. I think it was just because like out of the shock of like understanding, ooh, this is house. This doesn't really belong in Eurovision.
yeah,
Grow up. Grow up, Jordan.
yeah.
Hello, Elodie
Um,
says. Very
yeah,
true. I was rooting for Gustav for this reason, and people were bitching at me on YouTube and Twitter at how wrong I was. You know, you weren't wrong. I was wrong.
yeah. No, some people,
Mhm.
me. Oh, I was wrong. And then I'm gonna say like probably in April, it finally like clicked for me.
Mhm.
I was like, oh no, this is the best thing ever. And I'm like, yeah, no, it was so much fun once I finally was like, let me just accept this and not resist it.
Then you
Oh,
realize how fun it truly was, and it was
yeah.
magic from that point.
I'm sorry, I'm getting my notes. Here it is. All right, so let's go ahead and let's talk about Montesong then. What time is it? Yeah, we've got plenty of time.
We've
All
we've got
right.
the first songs this year, you guys. We have the first song. We heard one song going to Basel already. Oh my gosh! And it's from a country that's returning. Breathe.
Yeah. So that's that. Like there's
Please. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Like, what do you think of Montesong?
I honestly am pleasantly surprised.
Hmm.
I went into this like, oh, it's Montenegro. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I didn't realize how much I missed a Balkan ballad. And we have what, like at least 12 Balkan ballads here.
Yes. Oh my god.
Um,
Ah.
I know you were living listening to this
Oh
playlist.
my god. Like this was it was crack to me. This is probably I'm claiming this extremely early because we have dozens of national finals, but this might be one of my favorite national finals so far this year. It's going up against Fick in terms of just like gaudy ballad sadness.
Yeah,
And I love that. I'm just like, go head to head.
I know. I mean, I know you like a ballad. I know you like a bit
Hmm.
of drama. Yeah. So I don't
Always.
even know where are we gonna start.
I guess we'll just be like picking them off and then choosing our favorite. Well, because we have plenty of time right now. So I mean, like,
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Let me just start. I guess we'll start by reading off artist names and
mhm,
songs. But yeah, I don't have. Let me get the list actually, because the list I have is my notes, and my
mhm.
notes are like
Y'all can comment, tell us like
not
who your
organized.
favorites are. I really do have thoughts on every single one though at this point though because I've listened to the playlist quite a bit, um, and I do have thoughts on a number of them, and I'm very
Yeah.
happy. I'm overall very happy.
Okay, so we have Anastasia, um, yeah, Anastasia Koprolechech with Cry. Then we have Baryak with Dva Skra. Band 9 with Stop War. That person withdrew. Dolce Hera with Repeat. Georgia with To Le Bavlier. Lumici Bend with San. Isaac Shanabanovich with Leto Leto Leto. Kit with Obla Raja. Then Luke with Luka Rodovich with Kara Doja Mai. Nemalena Vucic with Shkoprya. Nemanja Petrovic with Meju Zvezjana, I think. Neon Yan with Clickbait. Nina Zizic with Dobrashili. Tamara Jejovic with Pogobanlet. Dina Janakic with Nova, and then Verika Chulovakovic with Chuyeshtili. And we only have one returnee, and that would be Nina Jajic, who was not even like credited technically when she performed at Eurovision with, who was it, Husi, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's talk.
Because I mean, it's our first national final, you guys. These talks are going to be kind of what carries the rest of our streams this season, because I mean, any of these songs could go. So
yeah. Do you want to kind of say who like your favorite is, or any like usual?
Yeah, I'll start with my kind of standouts, I would say, and then move into my favorites. A standout I need to highlight is I just had it in front of me. Dulce Hera with Repeat.
Okay.
What? Like I've never heard anything like that song before. I listened to it and it was just such a bizarre experience to me.
Yes.
I can't stop dissecting it. I can't.
Yeah. No. I have my notes in front of me from the first time I listened to the song. And it's just, there's something about this that's kind of off, but it's off in the way that like makes jazz good.
Someone described it as nonchalant, and I was like, that's great. Yeah.
It's really unexpected. It's kind of like a bit of a cacophony. Like it's really like what is happening here. But like the more you listen to it, the more you kind of get into it. And like for me, I in my note my first time I listened to it, I wrote not my taste yet. I'm kind of obsessed. This is one of these songs that I'm gonna end up loving in 3 months and saying it's genius. Like once it finally I'm like, I know this is one of those ones like once it clicks for me, I'm gonna be obsessed. It's gonna be, oh, why didn't this win? It's just gonna take more than one listen to get there.
Yeah. And it is, I want to say, strategically cacophonous, because you occasionally get like this trap drill beat with this unsyncopated saxophone met with these vocals that don't quite match the tune of the melody of the production. And the production's confusing as well. And you're listening to it and you're just like, I can't comprehend a single thing, but I'm so intrigued. Like there's something happening in the song that just makes so much sense despite nothing else making sense. It satisfies that for me. It knocks that curious string for me that I need.
Yeah, like it's one of those ones where like I don't know how well this would do in a competition, but I appreciate it like very deeply. Yeah. Anyone else you want to kind of highlight? Because we're in your territory here.
Okay. So I could talk at length about the ballads. I'm not going to do that for this stream because I think I'm going to be saving that discourse for as we get closer. But one that also really, really stood out to me to a point where it's just like I am obsessed with it. Tina Jankic, Nova. I'm
looking for my notes. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
This
is like the only really upbeat, funky, vibey one where it's just like, here's this lady, she's gonna be like cheesing it in front of the crowd and everyone's gonna be like bopping. It's an easy listen. It's blissful.
It's like it's giving wine aunt karaoke, but I enjoy that. It's kind of like what makes it charming to me. Yeah, like that's how I'm kind of feeling about that one. It's giving me, it's like very much Who Is This Diva. Yeah, no, it's kind of cheesy. It's definitely a dated disco song, but I'm into it because it has
Mhm,
like an energy that I'm really, appreciative of. I guess we need to talk about some ballads as well.
mhm.
Um,
You can start
so
this conversation. I want to see what you like.
well, not even necessarily ballady. Um, I don't know. I guess it's not gonna count. So, what was it? Trius Lee, Trius Lee.
Ooh, oh yeah.
That one.
Mm, mhm,
I like a song that gives me a drone at the beginning, like
mhm.
just a droning note, and then some strings that come in. You have my attention, absolutely and fully.
Yeah.
Um,
Eurovision used to
yeah,
do that a
vocals are
lot,
great.
and
Yeah,
yeah, it
everything
lost the craft.
it seems like for me, it's one of those songs that feels like it was built to appeal to me because it
Mhm.
has these like elements I really do enjoy.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I think it's I think that one's probably my favorite on first listen as far as like the ballads go, and this, yeah.
Mhm. It sounds a little bit like a sea shanty. Just think about that next time you listen to it. And I love that about it, but it does sound a little bit like, we're on the ocean in old times.
Yeah.
But it is gorgeous. It is currently my second favorite song out of all of them, just because, I mean, the droning is very impactful at the beginning. The way that all the instruments kind of peter in and then make their identities known, very nice. The vocals could be delivered very well. But then again, I do also feel like this is, as you have said, built for a specific goal, this song. And
Hmm.
that is to entertain viewers like you and I.
Yeah. Yeah. Another, it's not a ballad, but what I was into is Vasquez by Bayak. I
Oh my God, it's
That
so
could be
good. It
that could
is
be
so
amazing.
good.
Like live, that could just blow us all away.
Hmm.
Um, again, reading my notes here, it's heavy again, but not like in
Hmm.
a way that's inaccessible. Um, Baseline was just love the baseline on that one, and I
It's
like the way
psychedelic
that they're
almost.
mixing the vocals, like the
Hmm.
way that you have like the lead male vocal come in, to kind of take off the first half of the song. Second half kind of switches over to the female lead vocal, and then we have that male
Hmm.
lead vocal again with like a male backing vocal that's layered really nicely. And
Hmm.
like I said, it almost feels cosmic when I was listening to it
Yes,
before.
that's a perfect way to describe it.
And so like just there's a lot of stuff happening in that one that again it feels like it was made to appeal to me. Just because it like I like the way that they made choices in the production. And so I want to see what that's gonna be like live because it could turn into a mess live.
Mhm.
But like in studio, I'm very much there for it. You give me all those elements live, and I am rooting for you to like take it all. Like I don't know how else to phrase that.
Mhm. When I was listening to it, I realized that kind of one of the uh, cross sections, or not cross sections, but one of the intersections that I found with the song is that it has the elements I really liked about Ulveham and the elements I really liked about Dark Side. It kind of
Okay.
put them together and gave it a Montenegrin identity. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to just limit it to those two songs, but the things that I liked most about those songs, I see reflected very well in this. And this
Yeah.
is, I think, my third place so far. I'm a very like female Park and Bark ballad person, but I was so impressed by this entry. And melodically, it is incredibly strong.
And I think that you mentioned like the two songs, Dark Side, the heaviness, definitely
Hmm.
from there. And then Uva Helm, where we have like traditional elements layered in.
Hmm.
My thing is this is more accessible than Uva Helm though.
Yeah, I would
I
agree with
think
that.
I
Hmm.
think that the vocal is less challenging here
Hmm.
than it was I just say challenging in a way that like not challenging necessarily to sing, but challenging to the listener.
Hmm.
Where like Uva Helm can come off as kind of screechy. I like a screeching woman.
Hmm.
It makes me feel like I'm understood. So I like kind of like that, but this has more like a I use the word cosmic feel, whereas Wilhelm had more of a like foresty, ghosty,
Hmm.
wintry,
Yeah, we were in the
foggy feel.
forest
Yeah.
versus now we're kind of in like, we're among the stars.
Yeah, it's like
Caminhando
when
sopra le
Galaxia and Queen
stelle.
Serenity are fighting,
Mhm.
and you can laugh at me. I don't care.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just
People forget Sailor Moon has the power to create and destroy universes. Like,
well, I mean, you wouldn't pick that out from the little plastic wand she's got.
yeah, well, that's because you didn't finish the series.
That's true. I didn't. I stopped watching in the middle at some point. I need to rewatch it though.
Watch Crystal.
Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal's more loyal to the source material.
Hmm.
And it's also just like easier to get through. But the first season, like the transformation scenes are so bad looking because of terrible CGI.
They didn't have budget yet. Okay.
Okay. Anyways, putting
Oh,
aside,
I have one more I want to highlight. I have one more I want to highlight in Montenegro, and this is just for like for a bizarre reason. But where are you guys? Where are you guys? Oh, I'm so mad that I had it and then I lost it. San by Gloomsea Band. D-Mall is back, you guys.
oh
D-Mall,
my god,
falling, I'm in heaven falling. That from 2019, I highly recommend that you watch them, first of all, because that is like a defining moment in just Eurovision history. D-Mall. We have another 6-person vocal band, all singing melody. None of them sound the same. None of them are singing the same melody, even though they're all singing melody. And it literally looks like 6 very significant characters who it's kind of giving Fifth Harmony, where it's just like, wow, you have 6 soloists and they're all singing in a group together. It's fun. It's just nothing but fun, and I mean, it's bad. I don't like it as a song, but as just paying homage to D-Mall and the impact that Montenegro had in that regard, I'm here for it.
Okay, so I've already referenced one series written by or directed by Ikuhara, aka Sailor Moon. He wrote a series or directed a series called Revolutionary Girl Utena. Okay.
You've talked to me about that privately. I don't know if the streamers know about that.
Utena is very much one of those things that I adore. It's one of my favorite. Like Utena is probably like my top 3 favorite series of all time.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, the song made me think at the start of it of the battle music, like basically in Utena, because it's a magical girl series, kind of. There's like a point where they go up the stairwell to go fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
And this song made me think of that at the beginning. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, we're going to get into some like Zetai Ume no Kushiriku, right? I was like, heck yeah. And then it turned into D-Mall. And I was like a little disappointed. Not going to lie. Yeah, my notes literally the first time I listened to it was, okay, very beginning, I was feeling a bit Revolutionary Utena battle music, but yeah, no. I do like how dynamic this one is, though. It has a lot of use of like going up and down, up and down, up and down. And then we kind of settle into something that low key sounds like the guitars are giving JRPG battle music.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like I'm waiting for Sephiroth to come down. Or like, you know.
Good to see you, twink. There's no way that I'm just gonna be able to like stop and explain that.
No, I mean it's Sephiroth. If you don't know who Sephiroth is, this conversation has descended into a nerdiness that's beyond you. That's okay.
Sephiroth, I mean, is one of the most, at least I could say, like sleek and cool fighters to have come out of like JRPG worlds that isn't like mad cheesy. I mean, he's also evil, but like
I think it's called One Winged Angel.
It's like something like that.
Yep, it's One Winged Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah, low key, it's giving me One Winged Angel in this song.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's a great way to describe it. JRPG. Yeah.
Yeah. But not like the JRPG loading screen. This is like you're going into a fight.
Mm-hmm. You're checking your potions.
Yeah, I'm checking my potions because my shit's getting rocked.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to play Final Fantasy VII.
My introduction to Sephiroth wasn't even Final Fantasy; it was Kingdom Hearts 2, and then I got into the lore of Cloud and Seth.
Shameful.
And that was
shameful.
I know. But then again, remember, I came into the gaming world later than you did.
Yeah, that is true. You are a child. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna read some comments here because we kind of, touched on everything. So Brooke says, "I can't get Leto out of my head."
Brooke, I'm gonna be honest with you for a second. That song sounds completely improvised. It sounds like they took a man off the street, brought him up, and they were just like, "Sing. You write the song right now. Go."
It made me think of.
I'm sorry.
My two reference points for that song in my notes were a magical combination of Macho Man, I think was at the Village People, and Mecha Macho, which is a Japanese song from like 2004 of like these girls who are like in a Candyland world singing about how like they want to have a guy come like save them, like their ideal boyfriend. Yeah. That's just what the melody made me think of.
I don't know what the song is about. I almost don't want to know what the song is about. I mean, I love it just based on the fact that it's just like bafflingly simplistic. I don't know.
But that's what makes it. I guess that's what makes it like. That's what makes it like catchy.
But I don't hate it. Is the thing. I really don't hate it.
Okay, and then Mark says, "I'm all for Bayak, that for Montesong. That could be epic live. Again, cosmic, epic. These are big words.
They could be the revenge arc for like 2016 Montenegro, I would say. Yeah, I have a feeling it could do that, or 2013 Montenegro when they decided, yeah, we're gonna be like serious, we're gonna be experimental, we're gonna go dark, and you're gonna love it, kind of a deal.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, kind of touch on everything. Anything else? I don't know. Next week will be. We'll see what happens.
No, actually, we have how Sweden is allocating Melfest this year.
Oh, I did not catch that at all. Please.
It's okay. I can talk about it. I have it in front of me, and I read it previously. So I'll just touch on this, and we can wrap up that way. So you guys, we have 5 heats once again. We're going to be going first of all to Luleå, and then Göteborg, and then Västerås, Malmö, and for the 6th show, it'll be in Jönköping. But the thing interesting about this year is that, okay, 5 heats, 6 songs compete in each heat. 2 songs from each heat go to the final. 1 goes to the final qualifiers round. After the 5 heats have been performed and the 10 previous finalists have been determined, 5 songs from the 5 heats will compete against each other, 2 of whom will go to the final. The final will have 12 songs. My question is, why did you not just have AC? Why not just Andra Chansen like normally? Why make it so that each heat has like survivors that come out and then compete against each other for what's essentially an AC type of event?
It also it's fewer songs than usual, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Usually,
on the shows.
Yeah, it's usually much bigger than just what's 5 times 6?
30.
30. I feel like it's bigger than that, isn't it?
Am I crazy?
Or was it usually 7 songs and 7 songs for 4 heats? Is that how it went sometimes? Because I feel like there were more songs.
Yeah, you're right. I think it was 7 songs, 4 heats, and then Andra Chansen.
Well, okay, I can't do math, y'all.
So that would be less songs.
There's a diet Andra Chansen, and I don't love that. Just put AC back because AC was great.
So, okay, it sounds like this is more songs overall, less songs in the final.
Mm-hmm. And more shows, 5 heats, and then the pre-queue, and then the final. So overall 7 shows.
Okay. What are they getting the notes from Lithuania? What's happening here?
That really does seem like what's happening, because I mean, I don't have any further analysis on it. It's just that's what they're going to do this year. I know nothing else about it. Other than we're probably going to get a lot of returnees because this is Melfest.
Yeah, that's what they need to be focusing on, not changing these formats.
Mm-hmm.
getting some new blood into the contest.
And then again, it's going to be 1/3 Schlager, like 1/3 dance pop, a couple ballads in there, and then the winner.
And the winner will be, I don't know, who came second last year at Melfest?
Ooh, don't tell me. I can remember this. Oh, wow, I don't remember this at all. Ew, what? And I watched all of Melfest last year.
I didn't watch Melfest at all last year, so I'm completely opposite of you there.
I do, despite the fact that I know that it's like mentally regressing for me to do that. Come on. Okay, before we leave the stream, I need to find out who got second place last year in
I'm
Melfest.
doing it right now. I'm sorry.
I know. Let's see if you can find it. I found it.
Medina. Okay, you know what? Why not? Medina to Eurovision.
I have a feeling
it won't happen.
Sweden wants to send like a football/soccer song, you know? They want to jump on like France's Czech. And they can do it pretty well because Que Sera was a good song. That was a good number that could have done very well to get the crowd going, better than Unforgettable.
Yeah. You know, at this point, just send Medina.
Medina's
it won't
great.
happen. It won't
Medina
happen.
has star power. Yeah. And I've been listening to Medina since like before I even knew Melfest was a thing. Like I've been listening to Medina for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I really respect him as an artist. For them,
Yeah,
I'm not even quite sure. But yeah, like I've been a listener.
Hey. So that's that. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like right. So thank you all so much for joining us this week. We'll be back again next week at 1:00 Eastern time or whatever time the stream started where you are. That's when we'll be here. I don't know what's happening next week.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the calendar. We will let you guys know, and we're gonna have thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and take a look at all that, and we will see you then. Bye.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
Oh, don't forget EurovisionFam.com. Follow on the social media places. Twitter, Instagram, here.
And potentially a couple other apps later on.
Subscribe. Yeah, so we will see you. Bye.
See you very soon. Bye, guys.